I'm trying to do whatever in the day to not make it to jiu-jitsu. She's like, are you going back to jiu-jitsu today? I'm like, now maybe we got a lot of things to do. So we do all the chores and stuff. And I think it's gonna take way past 12 o'clock, dude. We finish that shit up in like 10:30. I'm like, God. And then she's like, oh, are you going? Maybe I'll take a shit. And I got after that, like I got to shave my head, I got to shower, and then so it's like 11:40. She's like, you're going jiu-jitsu, right? I'm like, She's like, just go, just do it. And then so I just chug a bunch of coffee, I get all my gear, I walk in, and then yeah. It's true. Like maybe I need to twice. Like whatever.
It's just a good piece of advice before you go roll. Take a shit.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone to the Oldhammer podcast, where life meets the mats. My name is Sam. I'm here as always with my good buddy Gordo. How's it going, Gordon?
It's going really good, man. Just first week back in the training since my two bicep, so it's like 95% heal, and it doesn't bother me when I roll. So that's more important than anything. It just bothers me when I wake up in the morning. So I feel like every bit and more of my 38 years of life. I wake up in the morning.
But besides that,
but besides that, it's pretty good. And strength coming back because I'm saying we couldn't really work out all that much when I tore my bicep. Certain movements like I couldn't do pull-ups for like 2 months, and that's like 90% of my upper back work. I mean upper body work. It's like I just do.
I like lat pull downs, but to each their own. But that's good that you're talking about that, because for this particular episode, we're talking about your return to training, because you went and trained this week. If anybody knows, my voice is not the same. I'm getting over a bit of a cold, so I'm going to let Gordon take us through his glorious return after almost 2 months. So his second glorious return after almost 2 months. Almost 2 months off because I done hurt him. So take it away. You're already on roll. Just hit me up. Where'd you go? What'd you do? And how's your recovery?
Yeah, so this week I went twice. I went on a Wednesday, Friday, but I went to a place that I've been looking at for a while, and it's called Factory Fresh, and it's going to be structured here. It's his name is Ross Hockey, and then he's a black belt under Bibiano Fernandez. You remember Bibiano, right? He's he was the MMA champion too, and
yeah, I recognize the name. Can't picture the face right now.
Yeah, he's the head coach, or I'm not sure if he still is, but he's the head coach, or was the head coach at Revolution, their Jiu-Jitsu class and stuff. So he's a black belt under him. And then he co-owner, I don't know his last name, but he's great too. He's a brown belt under Ross. And I got the chance to roll with him, and that put things in perspective really quickly. Like real quick. Yeah, well, I'll talk about that in a bit. But the first day, I was really nervous about going back. It's just, you gotta like really humble yourself, especially like you haven't done it well. Training with you is different because even then there's still nerves a little bit, because when we roll hard, it's not like we do technique and then we go like balls to the wall. Like it escalates pretty quickly after the first roll. Not even like mess with it. Yeah,
there's a familiarity in the game, in the plan. Yeah. We kind of know each other, but then when you're rolling with somebody new and you don't really know where they're going to go, what they're going to do, what moves they're going to pull out, yeah, you're nervous. I get that. Yeah. I had to train last week only once, but I actually was like, man, I rolled with one dude and I was like, man, I feel like a white belt again. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, or at least I have concepts that I don't know how to enact. So I get it, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but look, you and me have basically the same style of jiu-jitsu. It's just like a division of like the same style, right? Like it's top game dominant. Like that's basically yeah. Position fuck you to death. We position fuck you. That's it. But anyways, so I go there. But prior to going there, like I was making every excuse in the world not to go. Like in my mind, right? I wasn't saying anything out loud. I was like, because I only got 2 hours of sleep. So this is how like a lot of times I don't like show how nervous I am when I do things. People perceive me as like very disinterested or just like nonchalant. But deep down inside, I can get quite nervous. I am pretty well.
Let's talk about that 2 hours of sleep, because that kind of goes into training schedule.
Dude, True.
Like, tell me how that happened, because I know for me, I have a young child, so things get messed up, work, all that. But you got 2 hours
Well,
of sleep in one train.
this goes hand in hand with like with, being being a dad, having 3 kids, 3 little kids. So, but this time I can't blame them. Usually I can like blame on them, my lack of sleep, or my job because I work graveyards like most of the time. But this time was near here or there. It was just I was literally thinking about jiu-jitsu. I was that nervous.
Wow.
And I usually don't. I'm not a nervous like person. Like if there's like a fire next door, I'll probably go to sleep. Like as long as it's not going to burn my house, I'll just go right back to sleep. But so this is probably puts in perspective how much I care about fighting. Like that's how much I care about it. So I was just thinking about jiu-jitsu, not like, oh, I'm going to classes. Like I'm thinking about moves. So then they spirals into like this sequence and that sequence. So I'm basically like getting ahead of myself. And anyways, I sleep 2 hours, right? I fall asleep like
I had a similar thing
5.
after training this week where I was looking distance and the wife looked at me. She was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm thinking about that shitty roll I had. What should I have done? Where should have I put my foot? Why wasn't my hand here?"
Dude, it's so you try not to. For in my case, I don't try to. I just literally like bask and marinate in jiu-jitsu. Like outside of it, I'm just thinking about it. And Joyce knows not to even ask me like anything because she doesn't want to listen to like 2 hour rant about my bad roll or like a 2 hour rant of like how come this thing didn't work or whatever it was, or if can I try this on you? That's her nightmare scenario for her.
If like, any of the I don't know if we have any ladies watching. I haven't looked at any of the metrics, but if you do and you have nothing to relate this, but you have a friend who plays games, go ask them a simple question about whatever game they're playing, and then you'll get an idea of what's going through our head in jiu-jitsu. Because he'll go off for like
like a Pandora's box.
Yeah,
like you should open it,
break that dam, watch it fall.
Yeah, but yeah. So, anyways, I barely slept. Fell asleep around 5, and then I woke up at 7:30. Got the kids ready for school, dropped them off, and then Joyce has the day off, and I'm trying to do whatever in the day to not make it to jiu-jitsu. She's like, are you going back to jiu-jitsu today? I'm like, now maybe we got a lot of things to do. So we do all the chores and stuff, and I think it's gonna take way past 12 o'clock, dude. We finish that shit up in like 10:30. I'm like, fuck. And then she's like, "Oh, are you going? Maybe I'll take a shit." I got after that, like I got to shave my head, I got to shower, and then so it's like 11:40. She's like, "You're going to jiu-jitsu, right?" I'm like, "Ah." She's like, "Just go, just do it." And then so I just chug a bunch of coffee, I get all my gear, I walk in, and then it's true. Like maybe I need to twice, like whatever.
It's just a good piece of advice before you go roll. Take a shit.
Yeah, I'm just taking my time. I'm on the phone too. I'm like taking my time, like looking at jiu-jitsu, ironically, right? I can't go to jiu-jitsu, but anyways, I go there, I park. It's a small little place, right? And it's just kind of like I see a bunch of cars roll up too, right? And I'm thinking, I remember going to jiu-jitsu, training with Marcus, and there were some big guys there, but there was a handful of big guys, and then the most of the guys would be under 200 pounds or whatever. I walk in there, I'm just like, holy shit. I shook hands first with with the owner. I saw Ross came out. I walked up to him like, "Hey, you Ross?" He's like, he introduced. He's like, "Oh yeah, I am." So I introduced myself. We shook hands, and he asked me about, so you done jiu-jitsu before? But yeah, I trained with Marcus. He said, "Oh, what belt are you? I'm blue belt." I said, "Oh, you're old school." Because everybody knows Marcus was like old school guys and that.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and they're in the process of moving, so things are being stripped down and stuff. So I go in there, and get change, and I'm like below average size. I'm a 210-pound guy, and I think everybody was just huge. Not everybody. There was a couple guys that were smaller, but I'm like, holy shit! Like these guys are huge. Then I talked about the second day. There's a guy who's like 6'5", 280 pounds. I was like, holy shit, man! And he's a blue belt. His hands were like double the size of mine. I shook hands with him. We're like, holy shit! One
of the guys I rolled with last week.
Gigantic.
Yeah, he was. I know didn't weigh as much as me, but he was bigger, and that's weird because I don't usually feel like a small man, but like his hands were just meat hooks.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's unreal. Like his hand engulfed mine completely. It was like gone. Can I have my hand back now?
Yeah.
So, but anyways, it was really chill. Like everybody was just shooting shit, and then people, I introduced myself to some of the guys there, and then no warm up, man. Like not the traditional like warm up like to the gym.
I
No
gotta
stupid
admit,
drills. I won't say
that-
stupid drills. I refrain from saying that. Sorry, should
yeah,
refrain
not
from
stupid
saying
drills,
that.
but like the
Like
doing
the more like
push-ups and
hundred push-ups, the more like the mountain climbers and
yeah,
the fucking
toe
the
touches,
shrimping,
the shrimping.
yeah, all that shit. Like the wheelbarrows, like basically the workout before the workout
I
to get the
gotta admit
technique.
that when I
Dude, all the
started,
gate, all the gate. You do your movement because
yeah,
I
stretch.
listened to a podcast that Ross and Admiral was on called The Way of BJJ, and which highlights local Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Canadian Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which
Okay,
you should check.
I
We
should
should check
that
out. But anyways, I start warming up, just stretching, and then next thing Ross is like, "Okay, guys, grab a partner." Like instantly, we're wrestling. I'm like, "Oh shit!" Just like that. Like, and then
no
then
instructions
no,
on.
no, it's like warm up. Our warm up is wrestling right now. Like we're swim. We're going to swim and fight for underhooks and stuff like that. Just take it easy. Give what
But there
take
was
what you give.
there was some concepts like you're not just straight up. Okay, 5-minute roll, go. It's like get underhooks.
No,
Like you have a
yeah. Even then, you just kind of like every minute you switch with somebody, and I got to go with Ross too, and he'll give little pointers here and there. It just to get warmed up, gets like situated, and then that's like 5 minutes, man, not even. And then okay, boom, technique straight away. And like I have like no clue, little to no clue, like straight up white belt when it comes to leg locks. The first thing he does is like a heel hook from. I don't even know what it was. It's just like a heel hook, then you spin out, and you can take the back. And I was like, oh my god, like I'm a white belt. But I humbled myself because I wasn't like, oh, I'm a blue belt. In my mind, it's like, I'm whatever belt. In Nogi, I'm coming in with like no ego whatsoever.
Yeah,
as little as possible, right?
Blue belt and gi from half guard, side mount, but from the bottom or leg locks.
Yeah. So that was real eye opening. But like he'll show a move, and then we all do it. You find a partner, and you do it on that partner.
Right.
And and my partner was a straight up newbie. It was like his 5th class. So and he was like 150 pounds, and really nice guy. I think it's what's his name, man? Shit, it starts with R. That's bad.
That's okay.
I'm really bad with names.
Hey.
But anyways.
We don't need names, no copyright infringement here. This is defamation shit.
No. He was cool. He was a chill kid.
I was just joking.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got to use him as a dummy and really like to work on, like, we're both white belts, right, basically. So it was nice to do that. Obviously I have more experience, so like it wasn't that hard for me to catch on with some of the techniques and stuff, even though like I'm very new to like leg locks and stuff.
Well, I'll echo that in that it was like easier for me to learn the position during technique because I already had a base. So like, but once you actually start rolling, when you try to execute it, it's different.
That's different. Yeah, right? It's different.
So like actually going through the techniques or even starting from a particular position, you're like, okay, I can get in here, I can do this. I got a better idea of, say, the guy's 5th class it was, but you actually try to apply it while you're rolling, and you're like, yep, still a 1 stripe. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So, like after that, we did the move. Then he showed a move, chains it up. Like, okay, if you do this, and he does this to escape, you do this. So every move, like he showed 3 moves, but it was all chained together. So it all builds in together, and that was great. I did that, and then we started rolling. So we did drilling for like 15 minutes, or just the technique was like 15, maybe 20 minutes. And then you're done. So then it was like, okay, fine, partner, roll. So that, and then you start rolling, man. Nice. And then it was like, I can't remember how we did with Marcus, but I must have amnesia, but it might be the same, but like it was like 5-minute roll, and then once you're done, get up, get a new partner. You got like 10-20 seconds to get to a new guy. It was like a light day, so it was like 6 straight rolls. And I'm like, holy shit! When we were training, we do 6-minute rolls, a 6-minute break on, or 5 or 6, or whatever it is. Yeah. We do 3 or 4, and then we're thinking, oh yeah, we're getting back in shape. Fuck no, man! It was just, and that was the afternoon class I went to. It was at 12. That's considered like a in between. So there's the morning class at 6, where all the like masters guys go, like everybody who's older,
right?
Or, like goes there. Most of the people are older, and then you get a lot class size smaller. It's a slower pace. You get a lot of 1-on-1 because it's a smaller class size. Yep. I haven't gone to that yet, but I plan on going there to like kind of get more 1-on-1 time. And then the 12 o'clock is a mix of like the 6 a.m. class and then the night class. I haven't gone to the night class yet, but it's packed, and it's like where all the killers come out. All the purple belts are there. They have a handful of purple belts. This is a really new school. It only started in 2018, and they really already made a name for themselves.
Yeah.
And like the killers come out at that time. And here's the thing, they have like a lot of people competing. It's like a super competitive school, and which is why I wanted. So like before there used to be like a few blue belts, where we were training, there'd be like 3 black belts, 2 brown belts, 3 purple belts, and something like that. And then it'd be like 10 blue belts, and then like 5 or 6 white belts. Like that's when we were training at Marcus, right? That was a big class at the
That'd be a
Burnaby
huge
location.
class.
Yeah.
Like, rarely would you see a brown or black belt. Maybe there was one or two training that were regulars. Every once in a while, they would come in. But yeah,
dude, here's the thing. All 4 of the purple belts are competitors. They're competitive purple belts.
Shit.
So they're sharp and they're hungry. And
young?
The blue belts, some are. I think one's a little older, but 3 of them are young. One's a freak. I look at him; he's just jacked as fuck. He's a freak. And then the blue belts, though, imagine like, but like 30 of them. So yeah,
right.
Dude, it's like competitive. It's like us are most competitive. When you're younger, but there's a glut of them. Like there's no easy roles, man. It's like
shit,
dog eat dog. It's like, and it's crazy, man. It's, and they roll for like an hour straight.
Whew, that's
back to back to back to back to back.
That's why there's no warm up, because damn,
dude. On the Tuesday and Thursday, it's on the Monday and the Wednesday at 6 p.m. I think 6 p.m. to 7. It's like it's 1 hour, like same structure as the afternoon class, and then right at when the class ends at 7, it goes straight into Takedown Academy, which is wrestling. So some guys stay for the whole thing. So that's 2 fucking hours. And when you do the wrestling, I haven't gone there, but people have told me it's like they wrestle for real. It is, you do technique in the beginning like usual, then you drill like a wrestler. Like they don't kid around. And then on the Thursday, it's at 5:30. It's an hour and a half, and you roll hard. And open roll is like, they told me don't expect any teaching whatsoever. Like at the end, maybe you can ask some questions, but it's like 1 hour straight, like 5 minutes, rolling 20 seconds, 30 seconds break, and then you roll for the whole time. You're doing 12 fucking rows, bro. Dude, these guys last.
That's how you make competitors. That's how you make competitors, because you got to be able to last. Like some rolls in competition will go 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute round. Yeah. So if you can't last 10 minutes and then get up and roll right after that, you're not going to compete. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm glad that they stopped the old school practice of doing like a 45-minute warm up, because people have started conditioning themselves.
It wasn't that bad. That was bad before.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm exaggerating, but some of them were pretty brutal. Because people like us, we condition ourselves outside of the class, so like we're there to learn jiu-jitsu. So I am glad that you found a place that doesn't subscribe to that. But damn, that is tough. I don't think I've rolled 6 times in a row.
Dude, man, I couldn't do it on the first day. I only did 4 rolls. 4 on the first day. Yeah, I opted out of my last 2 rows. I was like, I was done. And there was like one of the kids, like say kids, because they're in their 20s, early 20s, or maybe they're teenagers. They're blue belts. They're good. And this older brother and the little brother, and they really remind me of like these old teammates of ours. And they were serious, man. Especially the older brother. When I said no to him, I was like super exhausted. It was my first day back. Like I did next to nothing for 8 weeks. Yep. And then it was like a look of like really disappointment, not like disappointed that like, and it kind of like almost like shame. I was ashamed that I said no. I should have rolled with him and just get smashed. But dude, I couldn't have no grip left. I was done. I got to roll with Ross, the black belt.
There's no shame. There's no shame. So there's no shame in that. Like you're gonna have days where you can roll 6, 7 times. And you'll have days where, and I try to tell myself this because I'm really hard on myself. You're gonna have days where it ain't there. And if they're blue belt competitors and they're smashing and brawling and they're doing it 5 days a week, better you politely say, man, I just can't do it this time. It'll hit you next time, rather than get injured. Yeah. Because right? You can make it tired, you're exhausted, you can make a stupid mistake, and next thing you know, you're out for another 4 weeks, right? Like, so
I agree. I agree with that, but I made a conscious effort on my second day of class. I went on Wednesday, so Friday I went again. But regardless of how tired I was going to roll.
Well, so, that allows you to play.
I rolled till I was dry heaving on my last roll with brown belt. I was like dry heaving, like that's how bad it was.
Again, but you went in first day. You didn't really know what to expect. Second day, you did have an idea what to expect. You went in with intention, right? So I'm guessing that and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my guess. On day 2, your first couple rolls, you probably didn't blast as hard. You held a little bit in the tank, didn't you? You didn't go hard, but I'm just saying you probably held a little in reserve, right? I'm guessing.
You know what, man? Like. On my second day, I got to roll with one of the blue belts there. I forgot his name. I think he's jacked as fuck. Like I'm not a small guy by any means, but like he's a little shorter than me, but he was soft. And anyways, the point being is like
Big,
I remember
big
he worked me for sure. He worked me, and like it was me basically defending off my back, and I'm really weak off my back. And I
yeah,
couldn't sweep him. I couldn't do other stuff. But I have a like
I'm weak too.
at least a blue belt level, and maybe to a purple belt level. I'm really good at escaping. So he caught me in armbar. I escaped out that. I escaped, and then I hitchhiked to the top, and then I was at the top. Then he stubbed his toe, I'm like, oh, okay. And then thought we were going to start back in his guard, but then he stood up. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Rolled
And then
inside.
I just went down to like shin to shin guard, which I'm like terrible at. So
Yep.
you know what? I'm here to learn, right? I might as well be on the bottom. So he was really good on top. He was super good. I didn't know how good he was off his back, but I'm pretty confident at the blue belt level. Even I would even dare say like at the purple belt level, I can do very well when I'm on top. On the bottom, like I have no pride about it. Like terrible. But anyways, like he just and then another time I escaped, I swept him, and then we flew into the wall, but I swept him, and then so he got up again, and then I'm like, okay, so I just sat back down. So I didn't know, I still don't know the protocol, so I had to ask like the etiquette. Sorry, like I had to ask Ross or Matt later, like so like how hard do we go? Like because I'm used to like old school way, like we just go balls deep. At least that's how I always roll. So like let's hold back. I felt like I had to hold back a little. He's like you give, you take what you give, right?
Yeah.
So next time I'm just like I half-assed shot with my wrestling. I'm a very average wrestler, and I shot in. I just like good stuff, but I wasn't really setting anything up because I'm not sure like how hard like what's acceptable. But realizing that like I felt like he went pretty hard when I escalated. So next time we're just going tit for tat. So roll with him, something like him.
That's
what
what
I'll do that too,
that's
which
what
is
I've heard.
fair, you know.
Listening to other podcasts and stuff is like the culture now is much more you give what you receive and you receive what you give. So if you start blasting, going real hard, then they'll come back at you hard. But if you're in that learning mode and you're figuring it out and you're
Who goes hard first? That's the thing. Like, and I also don't want to be the. I also don't want. How I look at it is like I don't want someone to go hard on me before I go hard on them. You know, like I mean like escalate. We're going from a 3 or 4 to like an 8 suddenly or 9. I'm like, oh okay, well then I'm in a bad position now. I'm scrambling, which is great to work on. But sometimes like if we're going to escalate it like accordingly, like tit for tat, okay, that's fine. But it goes from 4 to 8. I'm like, okay, whoa, okay. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
But that's neither here there because that's just like something I have to get used to. Because in comp you might be playing a guy who's like fairly like chill, relaxed. 2 minutes, a minute into a row, and suddenly he goes like 1,000%, and you're gonna have to work against like the escalation of intensity.
I think you get a feel for people, and probably the more we roll with the variety of individuals, get more of a feel of like what does that mean. Because I figured out pretty quick how hard the person I was rolling with on Thursday. I was like, okay, because I wanted to be chill, right? But then he just naturally, I guess, has this certain pace and aggressiveness to his game. So I'm like, well, even though I feel like crap, I can't. I don't have to go above that, but I can't go under that, right? Which he pushed me a little bit, and not gonna lie, one of the positional rolls was start while you're mounted and get back to guard. Half guard doesn't count, by the way. So if I got back to half guard, which I actually prefer to fight in, you have to get back to full guard or open guard with both your feet. And I'm like, so I got back to half guard and I was like, damn it, this is actually where I want to stay. I want to get up from here, but no, that's not what the rules of the game was. So, but like I knew like he wasn't going easy, but he wasn't going a million miles an hour, right? So you kind of get a feel for that, and I think you'll probably get a feel for individuals as you roll more with people.
Yeah,
and then there's some people you just can't fucking tell. Like they look chill, and all of a sudden they're like, yep, go, and like a Wolverine comes at you, and you're like, whoa, dude, chill.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Obviously, as for anybody, once you get used to your teammates.
Well, also I think just experience. You like any fighter. If you watch pro, I'm assuming if you're listening to us, you watch pro fighting of some variety. That first 10, 15, 30 seconds, they're filling each other out for the most part, seeing where the level's at. And then sometimes just somebody comes out dropping bombs. Like, yeah, but the more experience, it's just a different type of experience, in my opinion. Right? You start getting a feel for an energy of the person that you're about to roll with. Like, because, some people have that calm demeanor, but you can just feel that underlying aggression, and you're like, yeah, it's going to get hard. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but that's just my opinion. But tell me about, you rolled with a brown belt. Tell me
Yeah, I
more.
rode with Ab, the co-owner. That was the second day. So, well, I talked about the first day. I got to roll with Ross. Doing pretty well. I didn't get tapped out. I didn't get tapped out mainly because I think not. I think I know he let me live because I think he just wanted to assess where my skills were and stuff.
Sure.
So I generally was really good. He got me in a twister, but I escaped. Thank God.
I don't
And
even
then
know how to escape that.
he when yeah, and then he got what's it called? He took my back. I had to give it up because he had me on mount. I escaped from mount, gave up my back like I always do, and then he took my back, and then I defended the choke. I don't even think he was even going for a choke. He went straight to armbar, but I kind of felt like he was like transitioning to armbar. So when he dropped back, I already spun with him, and I always try to slam my elbow down to the ground as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Escape that, and then he let me work. It was good. He let me go 100%. Like, and I had like to escape. Like escaping was like 100%. Like I was doing no attacking. Like he started in like half butterfly, which was like I was like looking at this. I'm like, how the fuck did I get out from this thing, man? It was because he was locked in tight, and that was a new thing for me to deal with. But overall, it was a great role. And but then I rode with on the second day I rode with Ab, and Ab wasn't playing around. Like he let me work, but he was also he's like, hey, like I'm not going to take it that easy on you, right? And like, and he worked me. He tapped me out. He choked me out, like rear naked choke. A couple of times he grabbed my ankle and he let go. We just looked at each other. We just knew like if he wanted to take my legs out, then it would have been like it would have been over. It would have been done.
Like,
He-
what position were you in when he grabbed your foot?
I was in half guard. I just had my knee shield up, and then he moved the pass. Then I moved. I tried to like just create some space, and he caught my leg, and then he let go. And I knew like if he had like dropped back really quickly
There
into
was some,
something,
there was some
it would've
ankle
been done.
lock,
Yeah,
leg lock,
there was a
knee bar, or something.
oh, it would have been probably like a straight ankle lock,
Straight ankle
and then
lock.
I would let. Yeah, and then he did. He was playing like I think in the beginning like De La Hiva guard, and I thought I was doing fairly well because I was controlling his other leg. So he only he had like reverse De La Hiva on me, I think, and I was holding his other leg, and then 20 seconds later, like he's already swept me and stuff. So it was good because I'm not since our guards are so poor, like when we roll together, that we it's been so long that we experienced like super active guards and stuff. So it was a good learning experience. It's nice like reintroduction back to like high level jiu-jitsu, and it's nice that the black belts, the one black belt Ross and roll with people, and they're good, and it's like you take what you give kind of thing with them as well, and Ross is still competitive, so he still competes as far as I know, and he's jacked too. He's strong. He's in great shape, and yeah, legit black belt for sure. And yeah, it was good. I got to ask. It was a great thing after class. Like I was able to ask him questions to pick his mind a little bit. Like everybody was leaving. I guess usually like they give the keys to some people, like from some of the members that have been there for a while,
Sure.
and if they want to, they can stay and train
Train
longer.
late.
That's how. Yeah, even after 12, like say they can close up shop. They have that like privilege, which I hope to earn one day. Yeah, and then like it was just me and him at the end. So I asked him a lot of questions, and he was more than willing to like point things out, say like I think you should use this grip, instead. I think you should like do this, and what like he said like let's peel everything back, and it's like let's focus on one thing. It's like you like being half guard. He's like I can tell, but that knee shield, that's the only thing you're basically doing, and it's not working because it's like nearly a very defensive guard, right? And then he said, okay, I don't want you to use the knee shield all the time. I want you to get to like half butterfly or like full on butterfly guard. And then he showed me a couple things, stuff that I can work on, and then I asked him kind of homework I should be doing, and gave me some references. And I told him about some of the references, like the tutorials that I bought from BJJ Fanatics. If they were like you recommend them, he's like, oh yeah, it's basically like the guys that he follows is the same guys we follow and stuff, like
All right.
John Danner, Gordon Ryan,
Yep.
Lachlan Giles. Like you don't know Lachlan Giles, but he's a smaller guy from Australia. He's Craig Jones's I think instructor. I think he got a black belt from him.
Okay.
He's really good. Yeah. He's like a little guy, like a little-ish, like 160, 170-ish, I think. And then he was taking out giants, like the open weight class, like Abu Dhabi. So he's really good. And his style is I'm trying to learn that little man like jiu-jitsu, mainly because like I feel like even at 210 pounds, I'm quite little.
Little guy.
I don't want to cut any weight, so I figure I'm going to have to be a little heavyweight, like a small heavyweight, like get to
Cutting weight
230.
sucks. Cutting weight does
Yeah,
suck. We can talk about that another time, but yeah, I don't blame you. I don't want to cut weight.
Yeah, and then right now I barely lift, and I'm 210 pounds. I'm by no means like fat. Like I have abs, and I barely work out. So like I'm just thinking if I hit the weight, like the pig iron hard,
Pig
get on some
iron.
stuff, maybe go on the special sauce. I might be a little bigger.
Special sauce. I'm not on the special sauce, but I am on TRT. But we can
That's the sauce I'm talking about.
I thought you meant some of the special sauce, some of the
Mexican. No, that's the extra hot sauce. I just want regular, man.
You want the regular
sauce?
I'm on Frank's.
Regular.
I'm not on some Louisiana shit.
I just want barbecue sauce.
I'll fully admit that I'm on TRT, but that's doctor prescribed. Yeah, I'm not a natty. Fuck off.
My will be doctor prescribed too.
Fuck off.
I will be doctor prescribed too. Black market doctor.
Mine is legit doctor. It's covered by medical.
I just want it. I don't care. I already told my physician about it. She's down with it. It's like,
I
got a good family doctor. She doesn't give a shit.
That's cool. No, my family doctor's good too, and yeah, we did do all the blood testing and all that stuff before I took it, and yeah, it does help. It does help with a whole bunch of physiological things, not just making you strong. It won't. Here, I'll tell you. Total sidetrack. It won't just make you strong. Like, that's not what testosterone does. It's a byproduct if you're lifting weights. It's not tren. It's not anavar. It's not any of that shit. Winstrol. It's not gonna make you super powered. What it will do is help you recover and help a little bit. It'll help with your emotional state. It'll help with some of your systems so that you do. Yeah. And a byproduct of that, if you're lifting weights, like, you might put on an extra couple pounds.
Did you say that it doesn't give you superpowers? It won't make you superpower? Yeah, maybe at the doses that you're taking, but at the doses that I will be taking, that'll be different.
Everything within reason. Hey, man.
Double what you're taking.
For those listening, I do not recommend what he's saying for anybody. If he wants to do it, if I do it,
talk to your family doctor.
Ask your family doctor. Get your blood work done.
Yeah. They say no. Tell them you go do it anyways.
Tell them you're gonna do it, and if you are going above the recommended dose, which I don't recommend because I am not a physician and we are not doctors or pharmacologists or any of that shit. If you are gonna do it, watch your estrogen, watch your water intake, and watch your heart because it'll fuck you up if you don't. Not from personal experience, from people that we
don't take it.
Don't.
So I can buy it all.
Also, here's another thing. Hold on one sec. I got to reiterate this too.
Don't buy any from the black market. So I can buy it.
Fuck, you can do what you want. Don't buy it from the black market. Also, just one other thing. We're almost 40. Okay? Yeah. If you're in your early 20s or teens, there is no fucking reason to do it. Yeah. Period.
Unless you want to look jacked.
Unless you want to act. Yeah, unless you get paid $40 million and you're 19 to look super jacked, then do whatever you want. But no, if you're in your teens or you're in your mid to late 20s, there's no point. You got enough coursing through your veins. You really don't need the help. Just focus on your lifts, focus on your training, focus on your techniques. You're gonna get stronger than you'd ever imagine possible. And then
to a certain point, some people got shit genetics.
But then they could be taking it and it could do fuck all anyways because their genetics just won't accept it. So talk to you, doctor. There. That's my warning for the day. There's my dad talk. Thank you.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That seems hypocritical, but again, almost 40. Yeah. Doctor tested.
That's where don't do it because of legal reasons.
Yeah, don't do it for legal reasons.
Yeah.
But also,
don't do it.
Doctor, I get a blood test every 3 months.
Yeah. But it'd be the greatest thing you ever done in your life.
Yeah, and fuck off.
It's like that movie. You know the movie Walk Hard?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what are you doing, man? It's like, oh, this is cocaine. It's like, you don't want any. Oh, but it sure looks like it's really good. It's like, oh yeah, we'll make all your dreams come true. But don't do it. Don't do it, man.
It from somebody who's on it, it won't. You'll. I also have sleep apnea, so it's kind of like that. Will the machine fix my life? No, it'll just make me feel less shitty because something was wrong. That's it.
You need more. You need to increase your dose.
Sure. On
the sleep apnea machine.
Yeah.
And your TRT protocol.
Stronger sleep apnea machine.
Right. That's how I do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not increasing the dose. I already got enough. I got enough, thanks.
4 pumps instead of 2.
Yeah, no, it's actually is 4 pumps, by the way.
It's
It is
8 pumps
eight
then.
pumps. It's fucking double the dose.
2 in the morning, 2 at night.
I'd have 7 kids within 6 months.
Ju-
That's what would
just,
happen.
just
I'd
yeah.
lose
The
my
goal is to stay.
mind.
The goal is to stay bricked up 24/7.
Actually, now we're off on a tangent. We'll get back to your
Sorry.
role. I did take oral steroids once because I had I had my tonsils removed. Right while I was going through a whole bunch of stuff during COVID, I had to get my tonsils removed. But to make the swelling go down because I couldn't breathe, one doctor prescribed me an oral steroid for 4 days. I don't remember what
That's
it's called.
different though. That's
Yeah,
different though.
but I will tell you this: it was
It's not anabolic steroid.
it's an oral steroid, so it's not as strong as anabolic steroids. But it's still a strong steroid. It's not like a topical cream.
No, but I mean, like, it's not that type of steroid. Like a cortisone cream is a steroid, but it's not anabolic. It won't build any muscle.
No, it wasn't meant to build muscle, but it does mess with your system. And I gotta tell you, just after taking one of those pills, I had to take like 3 a day. I took one of those pills, I was like, I was wickety whack.
Really?
So another thing, okay, I'm just doing a bunch of warnings here. Last warning: if you're gonna do it, don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, keep appraised of your mental situation, because hormones do affect your mood, personality changes, your aggression, your non-aggression, and your sexuality. It affects your sex drive. So pay attention, because next thing you'll know, you will be doing a cocaine somewhere you should be doing because you didn't realize you were even there. And next thing you know,
Not a gateway drug.
You're going to
gateway
I know, I
drug.
just went off. Hey man, I had a whole scenario I was going to go, but no, the point is if you're doing it, if you end up requiring it,
You will.
keep apprised of your mental and physical state. You're going to have to be on the ball, because otherwise it could get out of whack pretty quick.
Yeah.
There, I've done my warning.
Yeah.
Back to your roles, what we're actually here for. Went off on a pharmaceutical.
Just wait till the episode when I'm like on it, when I'm on like
When
the
you're
first
yoked.
month. Yeah, just yoked. Just I'm gonna sit down because I'm
Your
too big
traps
for
are
this.
suddenly up to your ears.
Just tell people I'm natural.
You're all
I'm natty,
all
bro.
freaking just internal
Just
rotation.
Just no, I'm not that bad.
Just
We'll
right
never
there.
do
No.
that. Never been that. Yeah. But before I go out of roll, I guess since we're being disclosing everything, I have taken pro hormones. So when I was 19, I took pro hormones, M1Ts. I think that's what I don't know the actual scientific name, but yeah, I did 3-week cycle on like 6 fucking pills a day, and then 3 weeks off, and 3 weeks on, and 3 weeks off. That's all I've ever done, and those are oral. Pro hormones are like basically like SARMs, I guess. And dude, man,
Yeah, they're like proto-SARMs, I think.
dude, the blood pressure was like 178 over like 98, bro.
Watch your heart.
Brutal. Like, and my nose bleeds like crazy. It's super lethargic too.
Yeah.
And you're sleepy.
Yeah.
You get 8 hours of sleep. It feels like you slept like 3, 4. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And I went from I got really strong off it. I kept like people say that you're never natty again once you do it. Maybe not. I might tend to agree. I used to not agree, but I tend to agree because like my arms grew really big. Remember, I got really jacked in my arms and stuff. Dude, I kept to this day. I don't even work on my arms anymore, and I can still maintain my arms. After that, taking those, and then all I did was train arms and my back. That's all I did for like months and months. Like most of my gains, I know all these people like shriveled up. Like I got lucky. So I'm thinking if I go on the real sauce,
The real sauce.
I'm gonna get all the gains.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Let's say I think I'm a great receptor of these pharmaceutical products, these wholesome pharmaceutical products. Just shh. Anyways,
You're gonna be
that's
as big. You're gonna be as big as me. You go on the
6% body fat though. 6% body
6%.
fat.
I am
Just-
definitely not 6% body fat. I'm like 17, 18. Yeah.
Shred it.
Everybody knows that Jiu-Jitsu is only about strength.
Yeah.
Brian Shaw
No-
proved that.
No tech. Oh shit. So
It's scary.
I think it was last episode, or it might have been the episode before. We did,
Talk-
exemplify Brian Shaw, and then of course there is a video of him rolling.
A week
being
later,
taught,
he's like,
yeah,
a week later.
by Gordon Ryan. We'll I think there's we dropped a small clip, not to get copyright infringed, into our video about him talking about going to jiu-jitsu, Brian Shaw that is, and yeah, it's all about strength. It's not,
Dude,
it's
yeah,
freaking
there's a guy that Gordon Ryan trains with who's like 6'4", 285 or something.
amazing.
like
Yeah,
that.
he was
Big
rolling,
Dad.
He was
Yeah,
teaching.
Big Dad is like humongous. Like I don't even think Big Dan lifts weights, man. He's just fucking monster human being.
Shaw picked him
Dude,
up.
he looked so small. He looked like half the size.
Yeah.
Like,
They were doing in the video. They were doing some like supposed cage work against the wall, and Shaw just picked him up. And the guys, I remember at one point he's like, "Please don't slam me. I've never had anyone do this to me before."
Dude, he's so strong, man.
Picking up a human is like nothing, man.
And he
like,
did it just like
nothing.
Oh, what? I put my hands here and whoop.
Dude, it's retarded. Like how strong. Like he can take other strong men, like Eddie Hall, and like move them around pretty easily. When you got a guy that strong, that quick, you know, like to be 400 pounds and he's not by no means like a cheetah or anything. But I'm telling you, man, he's the closest thing to like a human being a silverback gorilla. That's like.
Yeah.
I
thought you were going to say Space Marine if we were going to nerd out for a second.
Oh yeah, Space Marine. Yeah, him and Hafthor Bjornsson at the peaks are like miniature Space Marines. You know, like Space Marine being like 7'8" or 8'5", whatever the fuck they are. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, look up Adeptus Astartes Space Marines if you don't know what we're talking about, and you'll get our comparison. But he is as close to that as we're gonna get naturally.
You know what? I know we're going off topic again, but like Brian Shaw and Hafthor Bjornsson are like the only. Not only, but like I guess those type of people, like strong men. I guess Shaq too, like just
Shaq's a freak,
super tall.
The best
He's like 300, 370 pounds, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is like those type of people who are like super jacked and tall are the only people that have ever made me doubt like why the fuck am I training for? Like why?
The point?
Like what's the point? Like I never thought that way until I saw like Brian Shaw and Hafthor Bjornsson move, and I'm like, oh, at least they don't train. And then afterwards, like learning how to box, and I was like, oh god, like yeah, maybe he's not the best boxer, but I don't want to be hit by fucking 380 pounds of fucking meat.
It kind of reminds me of Vladimir Klitschko when he came on the scene, because Lennox Lewis was the next biggest guy, and he outweighed him by like 15 pounds, and he was 2 inches taller than him, or 3 inches taller than him. I think Lewis was 6'5", and he's like 6'8". And now you're like, oh god, he's so big, his arms are tree trunks. How do you fight that? And he knows what he's doing. But he was like 200. I think he walked around at like 280. So now you take that guy. You give him you give him 100 pounds. You make him one of the strongest humans on the, if not the strongest human on the planet, and then you teach him jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Yeah,
and
in the sport, combat sport, where strength matters, like jiu-jitsu, strength matters. I don't give a fuck. You can be the most technical person on the planet, but if you can like get super strong without taking away from your mobility and your technical skill, like to apply it, dude, you're a better version. Like if that was the case, nobody would take steroids in jiu-jitsu. Like be like, oh, there's no need for it.
Strength can overcome a certain technical deficit to a point.
To
So
a point.
when they say you're like, doesn't matter how strong you are, the black belt's going to tap you. Well, yeah, if you're a blue belt and white belt, yeah, he's probably going to tap you because you just don't know. But once you're a brown belt and he's a black belt,
and he's Hafthor Bjornsson,
to make up that
it's
difference.
Over. Like I would like to see the future unfold where Ryan Shaw decides to take not MMA seriously, but jiu-jitsu seriously, and just like, yeah, I'm just going to be the greatest heavyweight jiu-jitsu player of all time, a practitioner of all time. I'm just going to train 7 days a week, 2 days. All I'm going to learn is fucking wrestling and jiu-jitsu and judo. That's it. And he's got the financial means to do that. He's got the will and mind to do it, and clearly the physical attributes. Hey, I just want to see him get his black belt, like a legit black belt, at fucking 6'8", 400 pounds. And then he goes around, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go do Abu Dhabi now. I'm going to do the trials. I'm going to see, get invited, and I'm just going to wreck house. Like, can you imagine, like, if he gets to like a brown belt level, like a legit brown belt level of jiu-jitsu, and then he goes against like other heavyweights, like at his size, because there's no weight limit, it's open weight. Like, what are you going to do against that?
If y'all don't know, Dave Bautista's a brown belt, and that's scary because he's huge.
He's huge. He doesn't even lift weights anymore, does he?
No, he doesn't. But now make him even bigger in a brown.
Two of him. There's two of them mushed together.
Yeah,
it's him.
Like it's a total mind fuck to think about it, because it is one thing to like you can't really conceive of it. Like when I wrestle with a guy who's bigger than me, usually they're not that much bigger, right?
Yes.
And I'm still kind of like, this is gonna be rough because he's big and he's strong, and I don't know if I'm stronger than him. I'm trying not to use strength. I'm trying to use technique, so it's gonna be rough. But then there is a category of human that is so outside of the norm that you can't really like conceptualize it. They said it in the video too. It's like this. I'm a big guy and he makes me look small. I don't know what I'm gonna do to him, and he knows what he and what's his name knows what he's doing, right? So like you can't conceptualize that type of weight being put on you, because for anybody who lifts anything over 400 pounds is just kind of comical weight when you're moving it.
Dude, 300 pounds is so
Yeah.
ridiculous, man.
Okay, so I went a little big. Anyways, but yeah, like that's why people look at you if you're ever in the gym or something, you're lifting anything heavy. They're like, well, because there's something in your brain
I
that
conceive it.
disconnects that can't conceive
Yeah.
it if you haven't experienced it. So I have
Yeah.
no idea what rolling with Brian Shaw would be like. It'd
Dude.
probably be terrible.
Dude, when the video I sent you, when Big Dan got Brian Shaw in the shoulder crunch, and he tried to put him in the armbar for that, Brian Shaw just literally curled his arm back.
No.
He just literally curled it back. It's like, that.
I always
And then,
wish I
then
had
Big
been
Dan's
that
like,
strong.
Big Dan's like, oh, that's not gonna happen there. That wasn't
Yeah.
gonna happen. Like, dude, Big Dan is considered a strong fucking guy in jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's strong as fuck, and he's good. He's a legit black belt. Like, he's like super good. You know,
Yep.
one of Gordon Ryan's teammates. When Gordon Ryan says this is like the strongest guy I've ever rolled with, that
And
he
then
literally
Brian
said Big
Shaw
Dan's the strongest
basically
guy.
picks
He's
him up like a child.
it's like a child, just like a
Yeah.
child. Like it's
Yeah.
utterly ridiculous. Like, I know we're
We're back. We're
but
gonna have to bring it
yeah.
back. We're
yeah, bring it back. I'm just
We're
saying
gonna
we're
have to bring it back.
we're just
Otherwise,
riding Brian
there's
Shaw's
just gonna be
dick
another
again,
Brian
I think.
Shaw,
Like
Brian
since
Shaw
that's
promotional video.
Brian Shaw's the
Let's
best.
go back to Factory Fresh. Let's
Yeah,
go
yeah,
back to
yeah.
leg locks. I want to go back to your leg locks because I've been learning a couple leg lock stuff too. You
I'll
said
learn nothing.
it was like swimming tied up. Let's spend a couple minutes on this because I want to hear more about that, and then we'll see. Then we'll see what's up. So hit me.
Okay.
Tell
Sorry,
me
what
your-
do you want to hear about?
leg locks. You learning your leg locks because that is something that we've always talked about learning. We're terrible at it.
Terrible. I even told
I started learning some leg locks from where I'm going, and it's a whole new world. I feel like a white belt, which I basically am in that category. But I want to get your feelings on it. What'd you learn? How'd you feel?
What did I learn? To be honest, I can't even remember. Oh no, I do. The second day, if you got the guy, yeah, I think if you're both in 50-50, and but no, sorry, you're not in 50-50. It's like you got his leg crossed over, so you have the heel hook, but then he flips his leg over, and then he turns, he gives you the back to run away. You let him go, you grab his hip, and then you drag him back to take his back from there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it was that, and then we chained off a couple other techniques from there. So I like how we're not just learning a move and moving on to another move, and then something from the bottom. It's like, okay, you do this, and then if you're successful, you should be doing the second technique will be you do this. These are the options. Like we're just showing you one, and then if not successful, you go to do this. So it chains off. So it's like the sequence is it's nice to learn, but it's attacking the upper body, anything above the waist is super fucking easy, man. I mean, like it's so much easier to grasp the concept of that, because unless you grew up doing like, I don't know, playing touch butt in the forest, like you're not gonna be like grabbing legs all the time, right? So
touch butt in
Yeah,
the forest.
that's an idea thing when you told on it. It's like, at least I'm not playing touch butt in the forest. You know when he was doing that moving thing, and then they were doing like that. Yeah, I got that from Nate Diaz. I always do that. I always say that to people. That's my reference to a lot of things. Yeah, touch butt. I love it.
Yeah, you don't grab the
Yeah, it's
legs
great.
unless you're playing touch butt in the forest as a kid.
Like growing up, yeah. But yeah, from my thoughts on it is that it's a little bit intimidating to learn, but mainly because like I think there were two things. One, because it's so much to learn. I feel like the intricacies of attacking legs is so much harder than it is to when you attack the upper body. Like there's less give, meaning like if you mess up, you really mess up. You gotta transition really quickly.
Right.
So there's less time for you to make mistakes. And when you do get something good, and you're on the when someone does something really well, and you're on the receiving end of these leg locks, heel hooks, strangle, whatever it is, especially where it affects the knee, you gotta tap quick, unless you know exactly what you're doing. But I think for most practitioners, I think all practitioners for jiu-jitsu, you're gonna have to let your leg get like fucked up. That's gonna happen. To basically, if you want to get to a fairly high level competitively, you almost have no choice to have a couple of knee injuries. Not that you're dumb and you won't tap. It's just that like you kind of have to almost test the boundaries of like, okay, I gotta escape. I can't always tap early because I need to know like where my limits are. But sometimes to find out that limit is to tear your LCL. Like I have a torn left LCL, partial tear. That's just ripe for the taking right now, which I'm like really nervous about.
Fair.
And then we're doing first day in, my LCL was like just I almost never wear a knee sleeve, dude. First day there, I'm like walk in and we're doing fucking heel hooks. I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? And then you know what? Oddly enough, my knee feels better. I think maybe
probably stretched you out a little.
Yeah, but it wasn't reefed on me. Like I'm just saying, I think I told you, like I told wifey, like, dude, like I mean, babe, like I get caught in a leg lock and I can't tap fast enough. I might have to go back on EI again. I just go back on EI. So it's just like she's just ready. She's
just waiting for you.
Preemptively. Yeah, she's like preemptively disappointed. She doesn't want me to get hurt, but because I get hurt, it causes like messes my lifestyle up. Yeah, I get if I like. It was already debilitating when I tore my bicep because I'm left-handed. So driving is like hard for me with my right hand. So like I had to drop the kids out, pick them up, like, doing groceries with more arms, stuff like that. So all that kind of stuff. So like the thing with leg locks I'm trying to get is that you gotta be really careful, obviously, but you also at the same time you gotta be more free with it. Like you have to, like, if your goal is to be competitive, like if you just want to get do jiu-jitsu for fun, yeah, tap early every time. But if you want to be competitive, you're gonna have to push the boundaries of how far you can take your limbs, and you're gonna get hurt 100%. There's not a single high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner that hasn't fucked up their knees and their ankles and their Achilles, like everything. Like it's just you don't have a choice. And
you're relying on another person not to screw you up, and you're relying on yourself not to get screwed up. And as we know, anything that involves more than one person, mistakes happen.
Yeah,
eventually.
For sure. I think in training it's fine to tap early or just like push it really close. Just tap out because like you got me. Now I need to learn how to get out of it. Okay, no big deal. But like in competition, depending how bad you want it, you're gonna have to let it go, man. Like if your goal is to, but you have to weigh it out. Like you have to weigh out. Like say you go to the ADCC trials in East Coast and you get caught. And then you have a chance to, and you lose this match, you're out. But you have a chance to do the West Coast trials. Just tap. There's no point because you have a chance to go do the West Coast trials.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like you just gotta weigh those options out and kind of thing. But that's a different thing. That's if you're a competitive like jiu-jitsu athlete and you're trying to make something of yourself competitively.
I mean, for most people who are practicing jiu-jitsu, you may do competition, you may not. One of the tenets. I think tap. Bury that ego. Tap early, tap often.
I think this is a concern of mine more than yours because you don't really plan on competing. You want to get your black belt. You want to do the thing. I actually, as much as I care about getting my black belt,
I'll be perfectly. I want to be perfectly honest. I'd rather be in your corner. I want to see you succeed. My metric for success is different, but I want to see you succeed. So I want to be. I'd rather be in your corner, armed with knowledge to help you win. That's a win for me.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't have to get my black belt. I'd be very frank. Like, as much as I want my black belt, I told Ab that I want my black belt, and like joked like within that 10-year average or less. So that's why he convinced me to come. Like I was only going to go like 2 or 3 times a week, and because I work night shifts and I got kids and all that stuff, so it's really hard to recover. But I'm going to just try to grind it out as much as possible, especially this year, and see how well it works out for me if I can sustain it. Going 3 to 5 times a week, and just like I know at almost 40, I'm going to give it a go. And if I can sustain that for a number of years, like he told me straight up, because I think he was like, he can tell that I was kind of like a little bit worried about like my progression with like the leg locks and stuff like that. And he said, you know what? He told me straight up, I see you within by the end of the year, based on the way we've been rolling, based on like I've been rolling with guys. You just gotta get a little tighter. It's only your first week back. You're still recovering from injury. He's like, within a year, I think you'll be a purple belt. I'm like, really, a purple belt? Like I'm that close? Like at least one port, like top game. I think he said like it's like we'll be purple, and then after that, then you can find your game because at purple you find your game, but you need to know everything. But you don't have to be necessarily master of it. Then you can like kind of deviate to branching off and this and that. So I was really happy to hear that. And then the black belt Ross, he texted me. He said like he's like I still have to text him. He was like saying that like he's like, oh, you're good, you're legit, and like your potential is insane, and he's like really excited for me to join the team. So I don't know if that's just to get me going, but pop my tires. But I already paid him, so like I don't know if like I was already a member, like he already knows, like so like it was like day one I was like down there, I was like I'm here to join. I don't need a 1-week trial. I just straight up told him that I'm just I want to be part of this team. So he's already got my money for like the whole fucking year. Fair. So and then he sent me that text. It was really nice. I told him I really appreciate that. So it puts things like sometimes like I'm usually like a half full, half cup full type of guy. But when it comes to like my progression for jiu-jitsu or fighting, I'm not that way because jiu-jitsu is a very humbling sport, right? Combat sports in general is very humbling, but jiu-jitsu because you have to roll every time. So you basically you spar all the time. and so you could get humbled really quickly. You know, you could be top of the world, and then
you definitely get
weeks
that
on
feeling.
end,
You have a bad roll, and you're like, man, I'm not worthy of this. But yeah, it's that's good to
massive
hear, man.
imposter syndrome for sure. Like unless you're
Yeah.
completely narcissistic, I think like a lot of people have like imposter syndrome. Because that's
Oh,
what
I
I
do.
feel, right? So like
I
I
100%
had
do.
massive amounts of So like I
It
go in
actually made
here.
me feel better just now knowing that he said that to you since we rolled together. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That made me feel better.
Yeah. So like that for
And he's
me,
better than me. I'll also say that right now, everybody. I think he's better than me. I know he is. There you go.
I think my game is like faster than you. Like it's because I can pick up the pace. So like, and I like to do certain things that you don't like.
Yeah, that's true.
Like what I do to you is like kind of like your weakness. So it's like I'm not that much better. It's just I just have the keys to that particular lock.
To frustrate
You know.
the shit out of me.
Yeah, and I can like I like to once I get on top, I get pass guard, position fuck, position fuck.
that's
So I'm
what-
just
that's what
way.
we do.
But Ross was telling me that's the new age of jiu-jitsu. Like he's like you position fuck the guy for like 6 minutes or like 5 minutes, and then you look at the clock, it's 1 minute, then you just go balls deep for a submission. I'm like
That's
I
what
told
we
Ross
love.
I'm like Ross. I love the. What do you mean position fucking? He didn't use the word position fuck. I'm like, what do you mean? I said I was like
Position,
position fuck.
position.
So he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's what I love the most.
That's what we like to do.
I would if there was a trophy for position fucking, I would love to win that. I would love to rack up 20 points, 20 fucking points to 0, and it could be like a 30-minute roll, and then I just like just position fuck you to death, and then I would love that trophy.
Well,
But anyways, but my submission skills is the rule sets don't like cater to that anymore, which is good. You know, instead that will make me better. I clean up my ability to submit people and stuff, and I only look for submissions I like instead of submissions that are there.
That's fair.
Which is a bad habit, and this school is going to be, for sure be
Nice.
It's going to take me to that next level.
Well, at some point, I look forward to coming there and training with you. On that positive and educational note, I think we'll wrap this one up this time. Thank you all for listening.
Position fuck.
Position fuck for the win. Like and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.